Hello, people of the internet. Making this recording to you on the 16th of April, and my name is Ian Olzer. I'm the Freedom Astrologer with another daily report to you on this fine day. It is a little bit gray here in Tallinn, Estonia. It's raining and snowing and kind of in between stuff. So wherever if that's similar to where you are, it can, always dampen the emotional life a little. But let's do our best with this daily report. Now, if you're new to this daily report, I take the best, or not the best, I take the most prevalent influences for our daily lives. Sometimes I talk about the bigger transits going on, bigger aspects going on, bigger movements. Very often I focus on the moon, which is a huge influencer of our daily lives. I think that's it for introduction today. And I'm going to start this report off with a little bit of a repetition, because I've been talking about, the elemental forces and the cardinality, fixed, mutable qualities of the energies in play. And for a while now, there hasn't been, a lot of changes in those areas. Mercury moved from water to air, fire, so there's a little bit of a change. And moon always is switching signs, so that will give each element or cardinality, fixed, mutable, a boost. But now we're still, the only planet in a water sign is Neptune. We can, say that it's Neptune and it's in its own sign in Pisces, and it's a little bit stronger there, for sure. But in general, we're right now there's not a lot of water energy, and this, when looking at the elements and the cardinality, fixed, mutable qualities of the signs and the current, present energetic moment, I think the elements really give us an indication of what's like the general theme that's playing out right now. Like, where's the focus right now? So if there's only one planet in water signs, so a lot of the focus isn't really on, doing a lot of emotional, feeling, spiritual work. When it's more in air, we have earth, we have fire, then it's more about practical things. Earth is preserving, mostly preserving, and fire is starting things, and air is about having new ideas. And now if we bring in the mutability, you can see the table here with the CFM or FAEW. These are the elements and the qualities of the current moment. We can say that the current moment is good for building on already existing ideas that either came to us before, like maybe in not so distant future, or in the somewhat distant future. And now we're implementing those ideas, and we're kind of making them better, and we're starting to, or have already started to implement these in our lives, in our businesses, and creating new things in our lives with those as well. So this is the it all, and most of this from a more of a practical point of view. when, let's say, we would have more water energy, it would be more of a mystical fantasy, spiritual visualization kind of way, which I'm not saying you shouldn't do it at all. Neptune in Pisces, visualize all you want, it can be good, but most of the effort in my mind should be on a more practical level right now, and it should be creating those new things, understanding those ideas that you had better, making them better. Even when you see there's a under the F there's a Moon, Mars, Saturn, and also Uranus there. So it's Uranus is in Earth. Let's say Mars, Moon, and Saturn are all in fixed air. So this all speaks about, yes, it does speak about new ideas, but it's also a fixed sign. So it speaks about integrating those new ideas into your life and into your businesses, into your being. I hope I didn't make it too crazy or weird, and I hope you get the gist of what I'm trying to say. Now, the moon, as I mentioned, is in Aquarius. Now, the moon and Aquarius are kind of the maybe not the exact opposites, but they're pretty different in their way of being. Moon is emotional, it's feeling, it's nurturing, and Aquarius is very mind oriented, very scientific, very technological, very, very systems oriented. And when you put these two together, you kind of get, in my mind, obviously you can have emotional detachment, which is a bit of a positive side in my mind for Aquarius moon, or moon in Aquarius time. So you can distance yourself from emotions. But the negative side is again a bit of a emotional suppression, or filtering your feelings and emotions through the mind. When you do that too much, in my experience, you usually suppress those emotions too much, you stifle them, and then they can erupt suddenly, which is the downside of actually Aquarius moon. It's kind of bottled up, and then it can bring up a very sudden reaction. So this is maybe one of the things to look out for, and to find your balance within it, to kind of weave yourself through it, not to get too attached or detached to emotions, but find your way to balance in it all. And if you can't, of course, that's okay. The moon switches signs, and we get another chance very soon. But just something to keep your mind and your awareness on. Also, when the moon is in Aquarius, it can be a bit of a scattered time, because your Aquarius is very interested in a lot of things, and you can be interested in one moment in one thing, then another moment in another thing. Just try do your best to focus at least some time on the task at hand. Do that, then move on, etc. Because Aquarius has a bit of a way of getting too scattered at times. On a positive note, during Aquarius moon, you can tap in intuitively, even you can feel into where humanity is headed, where society is headed, and you can pick up on the themes where we're going, and then you can use that to your advantage in your long-term goals, which is also Aquarius. Yeah. Yearning for, you know, innovation. Yearning for, I think it's very much like, if I had to sum up maybe Aquarius moon in one sentence, it would be to say yearning for innovation in our emotional lives. I think it's one of the biggest things here. One of the themes with, you can feel maybe some of the emotions and feelings have been stuck, and maybe they're old, and you kind of want something new, and you need something new and innovative here. You need something new to come and make you feel something. This is Aquarius moon. So a little about conjunction and some aspects, because moon, if you can see, is with Mars, and it's a little bit wide, but with Saturn as well. So moon and Mars in a conjunction means there's kind of a restlessness, emotional restlessness, obviously, but there's also this yearning and desire to start taking action. Obviously, it lasts for a little while, but the momentary burst and need and desire for action can come out of this, for sure, and you can even take action. Emotion. You might even feel like emotional need to fight for something, which is Mars. Fight for someone else's rights. Maybe even if it's an Aquarius, we can add that it's fighting for society's rights or social rights in some. You feel the emotional need to fight for social rights and for the rights of all humanity and for the good of all. You know, on a negative side, it can bring some quick, emotional, fast reactions. Hopefully Saturn there with mixing it up with those two can, you know, keep it under some control, but, you know, it can happen with this as well. So what else? You know, emotional need or a desire for passion, for sex. And I wrote down here even assertiveness, because Mars is very assertive, and when used properly, Mars's energy can make you more assertive in life. Just the thing to keep in mind here is balance here is always key, because Mars is very abrupt, it's very quick, it's very fast. So it's I want it now, I want to be assertive now. And sometimes it's good, you know, you get out of rut, you go and do it immediately, and it's good. But just be aware of like the actual action of it. It can be very, very abrupt and quick, and maybe even bring stress and aggression. So just doing my best to think of the better way here is still to understand and feel the emotional reaction and the yearning to be free, or be more assertive, and maybe even defend some of the boundaries. If we put Saturn here, do it, but do your best to do it in a in a proper way. What do you mean by a proper way? You know, there is a chance with Mars that you're just going to, you know, kind of be a bully and you know, start a fight because of starting a fight. I think that's not what like the mature Aries or Mars energy is. It's a more of a, for me it's especially with Saturn and Moon here together, it does speak of like an older, mature warrior energy. So it's being clear of what you want, and being clear of what you don't want anymore, and then being clear of what you want. I think that's the easiest way for me to put. And luckily, Venus is still supporting Mars here. Mars and Saturn and Moon, everybody is actually getting a very supportive trine from Venus, which should bring, you know, the diplomacy, harmony in our relationships. You know, it should help with that energy. And it should help if you need to, you know, take a stand or take a more assertive action in your life. But I think that's it. I wanted to keep this report a little bit shorter, and you know, focus on maybe do it a little bit longer when there are more major aspects going on, major shifts going on, and keep these dailies in approximately like 15 minutes, which is pretty good, I think. Okay, thanks for listening, thanks for watching, and I'll see you soon.